marking ticket printer 5000. Please select ticket type. Now printing. Do not ticket method is great for you. Ticket not printing. Please don't film another video here.
Ready onto me, bro? All good. Yo, it is I. For today, I have decided to draw on a model Ferrari, which I have in a similar style to the car behind me. While I haven't fully finished my models just yet, I wanted to upload what I have so far, as I've been working on this project since early February. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, so first I think we just need to get rid of the background noise, right? Alright, that's better. So now this is the model that I was referring to earlier. It is a Ferrari 458 Spyder by Hot Wheels. One thing to note is that this is my first model I am recording. Very nice, isn't it? But since it is the first model, I'm still learning a lot. So that means that normally, yep, there we go. Camera gets moved quite a lot in the first few days. First few days of recording. Now let's talk about the marker. Here we can see that I use a Sharpie marker. More specifically, this is a ultra fine point. You can see the mark it makes on the metal car. The one on the left is before, one on the right is after. And you can see that it's basically highlighted the area. Another technique used quite often in the process of this is smudging, because you might be asking yourself, it's a permanent marker, so what happens if you make a mistake? This, and do it quick, otherwise it stays. Well done! You have cleared the tutorial, also known as day 1. Now for the rest. Alright, day 2. You can tell it's a different day because I'm wearing different clothes, right? I know I'm covering the camera a bit, but that's not a problem because day's over. Now, day 3 compared to yesterday is longer. And you can see I'm still wearing different clothes, so it's actually a different day. Drawing on model cars is already quite complex. So I like to take advantage of everything I possibly can to make it easier to draw. Here, for example, I use doors. Thanks to this, I'm able to draw inside the doors. You can see one of the problems I face when drawing. The wheels. Because the wheels are in fact turning and moving, it makes it hard to put my hand and draw straight and steady lines. While the wheels can be annoying at times, they can also be pretty fun. One thing to note is that here, I'm starting to struggle with what I should add next. This is because I don't want to make that many mistakes, so I'm just trying to find the easier stuff I can do for now, and leave the more difficult stuff towards the end of the drawing. And that's a wrap for day 3.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
An interesting note to make is that I'm still wearing the same clothes. This leads me to believe that it is still in fact day 3. You know, I don't know if this marker is permanent on only metal. No! Why? No! I spent a good few minutes trying to rub that out. I decided to skip it. After having worked on the rear of the car for a really long time, I think you can see here that it turned out pretty well. I still have parts to add and everything, but you can see it quite well if it were in focus. And after a rather long and difficult day, that brings day 3 to an end. And here you can see the results of my work, except for the fact that you can't because it's not in focus. I was planning on say day 4, except for the fact that I'm still wearing the same clothes, meaning that either this is one really long day or I'm wearing the same clothes. Here you can see me using the other side of the pen I've been using. This is because the marker is bigger, meaning that it's easier to make bigger and larger adjustments to areas of the car which need it. For example, here I am working on the inner fender of the car, or here where I am working on the hood of the car. Here you can see I decided to switch back to my fine liner. This is because for this area, you can see that even if it's not very visible, I still decided to draw on it. And with that, that brings an end to day 3, or maybe 4. Alright, day 5, it's the same clothes. I'm gonna find out now what day it actually is and inform you when I find out. After having done extensive research into this topic, I have discovered that it is actually only day 3. It's the same day as all the other ones. So there you have it. It is in fact only day 3. Here you can see a problem I experienced, which is me losing the Ferrari logo. But I did not notice that until much later. And here you can see the exact moment where I realized that it's missing. As I start to get up to start looking for it. Here I also spent a lot of time looking for it, but I decided to skip it because it was not really interesting. And with that, I decided to just call it a day. Maybe I'll replace it or find it another day. Yeah, new day, new angle. And it is actually a new day. For some reason, during this day, I decided to change the camera angle a lot. No clue why, just felt like it. Here you can actually see that I decided to draw on the inside of the trunk. This means that if you were to open the model, you can actually see that there is detail inside. We can see here that I decided to switch back to my big liner for the sides of the trunk. Here there isn't much happening that I haven't already discussed or that's interesting. But I can tell you that's probably gonna be BeamNG Drive. And with that out the way, that brings an end to day 4. Day 5 and I finally got a hoodie. I scenes the camera angle so much. Can we get like a counter of how many times I scenes the camera just this one day? With that brings an end to day 5, with a total of 3 different camera angles. Day 6, new day, new pants. And let's start, I don't know. Ignore the thing on my hand, that's from my cat. Here you can see that I listen to music on my iPad, more specifically from YouTube. I forgot what I was listening to though. Probably some Tally Hall though. Siri, put some Banana Man.
Sorry I couldn't play Banana Man by Tally Hall.
Why no?
Cause Tokyo Reggie is already playing.
Oh, alright then. With that wraps up day 6, also known as the final day. Thank you for watching. This is the end of today's episode. There are still things I have to add to this model, but I think the video is long enough. So for now, I'll just see you around.